Hey guys, I'm not sure how I'm going to really start this video, and I imagine this intro is going to be a little lengthy, so if you just want to skip forward to the ranking, I don't blame you at all. But for those who are going to stick around for this entire intro, I do just have something that I have to say to you, and that is the most genuine, sincere, from the bottom of my heart thank you that I can possibly offer. I seriously thank anybody who sent me any words of encouragement, any nice messages, anything to help me out during my absence over the last couple months. And I mean this when I'm saying it too, guys. Without that support, I wasn't coming back. And to put into perspective how serious I am on that, like a couple weeks ago, I was working for Amazon. I was done. I wasn't gonna pick this back up. But then as time went on, I couldn't help but notice that no matter how much I didn't make content, no matter how much I stayed a ghost on social media, no matter how much I didn't respond to your guys' comments, no matter how much I thought I was becoming irrelevant to you guys did not give up on me. You guys not only supported me through the roof, but you guys have been patiently waiting for a day that you guys may not have known to ever come, and that's me coming back to make content. And it's that alone that makes me not give up on you guys. If you guys are willing to fight for me, I'm willing to fight for you. And I need you guys to know that without you, I would have never made a YouTube video again. So just one final time from a guy who's going through what I consider the lowest point in my life. Thank you guys for saving me and for keeping my career alive. I would also like to say, as I, pick videos and content back up slowly here, that, my energy levels, my sense of humor, it might not be what it once was, and I'm working on getting that back. But as complete as the puzzle may seem, there's still some pieces missing, and there's still a lot of things I'm working on, so bear with me during that too. However, a couple pieces of positive news that have happened in my life. Number one, I am a fantasy football champion. Locked that down last night, and I just want to give a couple massive shout outs to Brian Thomas, Jaden Daniels, and Bucky Irving for essentially winning me the entire league. Oh, and Bijan Robinson, my number 2 overall pick, who finally paid off for me. Another piece of encouraging news, I fulfilled the promise that I always said I was gonna do. And that's get a golden retriever named Alan. He's adorable. And I did see some questions on social media after I shared a picture of Alan, and that's from a lot of people wondering about Buxton. Guys, Buxton is 100% healthy. He is fine. He's a great dog still. He's just gotta learn to be patient with his little brother. But I have 2 kids, and I love them dearly. Now, in terms of today's video, which I'm sure you guys can tell by the title, we are going to be doing a good old-fashioned ranking every NFL team. Doing this for a couple reasons. One, I haven't done it in several months now, and for 2, this just seems like a good interactive video for everybody to kind of get back in the swing of things. So, super quick, we got a couple of plugs. Don't forget to use code Wyatt's World on G Fuel, Prize Picks, or Waggle Golf, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel or Waggle products, or guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry after using code Wyatt's World at sign up on Prize Picks. That's all I got for plugs though. Let's get into the video. Okay guys, so here we are at today's list, and for now, the categories look a little something like this. At the top, we've got the teams who I think are the best. Under that, we've got the teams who I think are good. In the middle, we've got teams that are mid. Then under that, we've got teams that are not very good, and bottoming out, we have the ass of the league. And one final disclaimer before we start, just for anybody who missed my last update video, there is legitimately about a 6-week span of NFL football that I did not watch. So if I say some really dumb shit here, just give me a couple days. I'll snap back into it, I promise. Anyways, starting off, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Unfortunately, I have to say they're about as mid as it gets. This was such a weird team. At the start of the year, I feel like they convinced a lot of people that they were underrating them, and by the end of the year, everybody was convinced that they were overrating them. They finished 7-9, allowed more points than they scored, and Kyler Murray, as much as I hate to say it, also just looks extremely average. Now moving on, we have the Falcons. Unfortunately, they're not very good. Kirk Cousins was an enormous flop. The defense has not been performing to the standard I thought they were going to. And it looks to me, if they play a team that's actually competent, they get their asses kicked every time. Now we got Baltimore. They had a rocky start to the season, but I still consider them one of the best and probably one of the most dangerous teams in the league right now. The secondary might be terrible, but their run defense is first in the league, and Lamar Jackson's playing more like an MVP this year than he did last year. And I'm not arguing that he shouldn't win it this year, but it's just funny to me how last year Raven fans said stats did not matter when Josh clearly had better numbers than him, and now this year, all of a sudden stats matter. Okay. Now we got Buffalo. Obviously, I believe they're one of the best teams in the league, and that's for good reason, not just because they're my favorite team. This team, who was supposed to be bad this year to a lot of people, have locked down their division at 13-3, have scored 150 more points than they have allowed, and they have a quarterback who is putting on one of the best seasons he's ever played when he has lost an all-pro receiver and had a broken fucking hand the entire year. With everything that was supposed to happen to the Bills and how they are performing this year, I genuinely believe that they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And that'll bring us to the Panthers. Ass of the league. I don't know if that one's out of pocket or not. I know that Bryce is playing better football. I know the team played better football this year than they played last year. But they finished 4-12. They have allowed nearly 200 more points than they have scored. And to complement that, they literally have the worst defense overall in football right now. So makes sense. Now we've got the Bears, ass of the league. You guys are so dog shit, and I'm so sorry, but I mean it. I will never ever drink that Kool-Aid again. 2 years in a row, you guys have made me look like a fucking clown. Worst offense in football right now, and ever since they fired Matt Eberflus, who I didn't think really did shit, their defense has been terrible too. If I have to be completely honest about this team though, like entirely serious, the one good thing I will say is Caleb Williams is not a bad quarterback. I don't believe that for a second. I just think they, as a unit, the Bears, dumpster fire. And also DJ Moore looking like he gives up on 75% of his routes. Why is he doing that? Now we've got the Bengals. If they make it, they would be the wild card's worst nightmare. I've been saying that for weeks. That is the one team I do not, and I repeat, I do not want to fucking run into in the playoffs. I know they have like a 15% chance to make it, but if they do, they are gonna fuck someone up. Catastrophically terrible defense this year, but Joe Burrow playing like an MVP and Jamar Chase, I have no issue saying is right up there with Justin Jefferson. He is arguably the best receiver in the league, one of the best I've ever seen. Now moving on, we have the Browns, ass of the league. With no quarterback, you have a problem. With no Nick Chubb, you have a big problem. They don't have anybody on offense. I mean, their best weapon's Jerry Jeudy. No wonder they're 3-13. Now we've got Dallas. Probably could be mid if they had Dak right now, but they don't. I'm gonna say not very good. Defense is bottom 5. Their offense is bottom half. Even when they were complete, they weren't that good this year at all. They were very underwhelming. Now we got the Broncos. They're a good team. They've had some heartbreaking losses in back-to-back weeks, but they're 9-7 when nobody, and I mean literally nobody, expected them to do anything this year. And my take on Bo Nix is also looking kind of good. I said I expected him to have a better year than quite a few of the rookies because he has a coach who knows how to work with quarterbacks, and the guy's also had like 15 years of college experience. Now moving on, we have the Detroit Lions. Now again, I have no issue saying this. You guys are one of the best teams in the league. You guys have the best Lions team I have ever seen. You have one of the most electric offenses I've ever laid my eyes on, but 95% of your fan base completely forgot how to act. Now next week, they're playing the Vikings for the 1 seed. Who in the hell saw that coming? Now moving on, we have the Packers. They're a good team. I don't have anything against them at all. I know Jordan Love may have regressed a tiny bit, but he's still playing good. They're 11-5. Josh Jacobs proved me way wrong. Xavier McKinney was a nice pickup. They had a good offseason. They made a good team. Now moving on, we have the Texans. This might seem harsh, but I think they're really mid. I don't believe in them at all, and I think if they were in any other division, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. Defense has been underwhelming. CJ Stroud has been really underwhelming. Talk about a regression. Now, I do think he's a good quarterback, but he's just not playing that well. Receivers are constantly banged up. I think the only pleasant surprise I got out of the Texans this year was how good Joe Mixon performed, because I thought he was going to do way worse than what he did. Now moving on, we have the Colts. Not very good at all. A matter of fact, I actually think they nearly belong in the ass of the league. Their defense was abysmal this year, and I will just go ahead and say it. Maybe this will come back to haunt me next year. Anthony Richardson fucking sucks. I'm glad he has a super cannon for an arm, guys, but you gotta understand, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat, and he's just flat out, as mean as it sounds, he's not smart with the ball. And now moving on, we have the Jags, ass of the league. Shout out to Brian Thomas. You're awesome. You won me a fantasy championship. But the rest of the team, pretty garbage. And Trevor, before he got hurt, pretty garbage. I will take a small victory lap on them, though. I said at the start of this year, ETN, very, very fucking overrated. And I think my point has been proven. Now moving on, we got the Chiefs. I'm not even going to get into this as much as I want to get into this. They're 15-1. They're one of the best teams in the league, but if I counted correctly, 10 of their 15 wins are by 1 score, and I think 5 of them were by like 3 points. Like, clearly they know how to win. Clearly they're one of the best teams in the league, but how legit are they? Now we've got the Raiders. The Raiders are beyond booty. I know statistically they might not actually be the worst team in the league, but they have the most uninspiring roster I have ever laid my eyes on in my fucking life. And I know they have some playmakers. They got Brock Bowers, they have Max Crosby. I'm sure I'm missing a few others, but their actual team looks like you tried to create an expansion team on Madden and only use the league's remaining free agents available. I actually hate watching them. And that'll bring us to the Chargers. They're a good team. I don't think they're the most complete team. I think their offense could really use some help, but they've got the weapons that they need to win, and they have the coach who knows how to win. Almost wish I could have seen them the last 4 years with Jim instead of shitty Brandon Staley. Now moving on, we have the Rams, and they are the NFC Bengals, and they are in the playoffs. I know the Bengals will probably miss it. The Rams are in it, and they are going to be, whoever plays them, I think it would be Washington right now, it will be their worst fucking nightmare. There is nothing scarier than playing a team that says, fuck the defense, we'll just outscore you. Those are the worst teams to play. Now we got the Dolphins. They go in LOL, and I'm not poking fun at them because like they're a completely terrible team. They can still make the playoffs. I'm poking fun at them because this is the third year in a row that their fans just went crazy all offseason, only for their team to just do the same thing they have done the last 3 years. I said at the start of the year, I will say it now. The only thing worse than having a limited quarterback is having a limited coach. And don't try and tell me you don't. You guys can't beat good teams. You haven't been able to do it for 3 years. Mike McDaniel plays a team above 500. He sends a stream of piss down his legs so fast he sprouts daisies on the turf he walks on. That'll bring us to the Vikings. They're shockingly one of the best teams in the league, and I don't think anybody can deny that. There is no fluke here. 14-2, scoring 130 more points on offense than you've allowed on defense. Sam Darnold never started to just suck like everybody thought he was going to do, including myself. Like, they are a solid ass, like, elite football squad. They also have who I believe is the coach of the year. That'll bring us to the Patriots, and they're obviously ass of the league. Bottom 3 offense, bottom 10 defense. If I have to be totally just transparent with you guys, if Drake May and Christian Gonzalez didn't play for the Patriots, I don't think I would have thought about them one time this year. Now we got the Saints. They're ass. They're old and they're ass. I will admit though, it was impressive as to how fast they went up at the start of the year to how fast they just crashed and burned. Like, they were the best team in the league for 2 weeks. Now moving on, we have the Giants. I'm actually gonna say just not very good. I know record-wise they belong in the ass of the league, but they have talent in quite a bit of it. It's just they can't put the puzzle together. The same puzzle they've been trying to put together pretty much since Eli Manning started to go downhill. They've got great defensive talent. They've got a couple offensive studs in Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Tracy, who I think is going to be really good, but they got to get a fucking quarterback, like someone who can play right out the gate. Moving on, we have the Jets, and I'm actually going to do the same damn thing I did with the Giants here. You know, record-wise, they probably belong in the bottom, but they have the talent to keep them out of there, and they do have talent. Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Breece Hall, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Braylon Allen, 75-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Teams should not be as bad as they are, and they wouldn't be if they wouldn't have fired Saleh. Now moving on, we have the Eagles. Obviously one of the best teams in the league. A little bit hurt at the quarterback position, but that doesn't matter when you have Saquon, who is going to run for 2,000 yards on the season and average almost 6 yards a carry. That's MVP caliber numbers. Still think their coach is one of the most unlikable people I've ever seen, though. Now we got the Steelers. I apologize, but I think you guys are pretenders. I really do. I don't think you're a bad team. I just don't think you're a championship caliber team. I think you guys have had a lot of close calls this year, and I think these last 3 weeks have been very telling on the team you are going to be moving forward. Now, that might come back to bite me if I run into you in the playoffs. I'm just saying, I don't think you guys are that good. Now we've got San Francisco, mid. And before the boys start crying, injury, I get it. Yeah, you're hurt. CMC gone, that sucks. Ayuk gone, that sucks. But it's the players who weren't hurt, that weren't performing, that I think hurt you the most. Brock Purdy this year wasn't that good. Deebo Samuel this year, if I'm not mistaken, probably had the worst year he's ever had. Never should have gotten paid that much to fucking begin with, but lesson to be learned. If I had to hand an award out, they would definitely get probably underperforming team of the year. Them or the Jets. Now we've got the Seahawks. They're also going in LOL because that's another fan base that continuously tells me I underrate them, and I am continuously fucking right on them. They are not a bad team, but they are also not even close to the team that their fan base advertises year in and year out. Their fan base treats them like they're Super Bowl contenders every year. You're not. Now we've got the Buccaneers, and this is a weird team. I think they're a good team. I think Bucky Irving has added a spark to that offense they desperately needed, but the Buccaneers seem to have a tendency to lose games that they should win, or to make games that shouldn't be close uncomfortably close. Obviously, yesterday wasn't the case, but I'm just talking big picture. And that'll bring us to the Titans. Oh, dude, they're so fucking ass. No, sorry, they're beyond booty. They're gonna go down. That's another roster that just might be the least inspiring group of people I've ever come across in my life. And me being so uncomfortably dead wrong on Will Levis makes me feel nauseous even watching them play. And ending, we have Washington, one of the most surprising teams to me this year, a team I was very wrong on. And I'm gonna say they are a good team. I'm not gonna put them in the best, and I know some people probably would, but this is another one of those teams that even though they win a lot, tend to make games really close, where it almost seems like they sneak away rather than actually dominating. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it for my updated ranking of every NFL team. And that is also going to be all for today's video, everybody. Seriously, I can't thank you enough for the support and everything you guys have done for me, and I'm trying as hard as I can to get back and return the favor to you guys. I'm not sure my content's gonna be crazy consistent here for the next couple of weeks to maybe a couple months, but I'm gonna do my best to at least post weekly for you guys. And hopefully as time goes, we just get more comfortable and can finally snap back into the rhythm we were once in. But I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. It was really nice to see you guys and to be able to do this again. I hope everybody has a safe rest of their holiday breaks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.